How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation, get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Florian Satzinger. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. I love his style. I've been a fan of his for quite a few years. He just has a really interesting, playful character design sensibility that is just gorgeous. It takes kind of that classic Disney style and just turns it on its head and twists it up. But just that gorgeous stylings. You can see he really has a beautiful way with silhouette and with posing and a great character, and you can really get those expressions and those feelings right away. Just gorgeous stuff. And I love the way that he plays with shape as well, and form. Just gorgeous stuff. His color choices are really amazing too. I love the more muted, earthy kind of tones that he uses throughout a lot of his stuff too. I really like the playfulness and the imagination that he has in all of his work. Look at that cool. It's like a dragon, giraffe, duck, bird creature, just so great. And then it's like a messenger too. I really would be fascinated to discuss his process more, from start to finish of how that evolves from the idea. Just really interesting mind for sure with his character designs. I feel like he's really gorgeous. I love this creature too. I really urge you guys to check out his work. I think he's phenomenal and doesn't get nearly enough credit for the amazing character design sensibilities that he really has. It creates these universes and these worlds full with really expressive characters that you just want to know more about and know their backstory and know what they're going to do and all that kind of stuff. So I did find a quote from an interview that he did a while back, and he said, "Keep your eyes open, think before you draw, and practice. I think that's so great. There's the three real beats here is that, be aware of everything around you and the things that are going on in your life and the things that you're learning, and because you can learn and you can get inspired from anything and anywhere at any time. You just have to keep your mind open to getting that inspiration or those ideas or those thoughts or the new discoveries." And then I think the think before you draw thing is very important too. I know for sure if I just sit down and roll with something, it tends to not work out nearly as good as if I have a good idea of where I'm going before I even start. And one thing that I've been doing a lot more, or trying to at least, not all the time, is getting back to thumbnailing just a real quick, rough energy sketch before I even start on something further, even if it's just going to be kind of a playful thing. I try to get it out in a really small, really tiny thumbnail that just has the kind of silhouette and the shape and the posing that I want to go with before I get in there. And I find that really helps me at least kind of play through what I'm thinking about doing before I do it. I was reading, forget which one, but it was a few days back I was reading about, it was one of those 1950s illustrators that we looked at a little bit ago, and he said that he would do like 50 different thumbnails before he would decide on a pose and a layout and his composition and everything. And that really got me to thinking that's a lot of stuff to do before you just get into one. But I think it made his options stronger and it got him narrowed down. And by just keeping it loose and keeping it in that thumbnail stage, they never would even show to anybody, but just for his own work and stuff. I thought that was really interesting. And then the last thing that he hits on here is the practice. And I think that can't be overstated enough. I think I never would have anticipated the amount of work and effort and everything that I've had to put in just to get to the point where I'm at. And I feel like I still have tons of places to grow in illustration and animation and all the areas of my life for sure. But the amount of just man hours that you have to put in to get to anywhere near even somewhat near a mastery level or anything is going to be incredibly a lot. They say it's the 10,000 hours. I think that just it's probably around there, but like 10,000 focused hours where it adds up each minute kind of thing, rather than just a blank 10,000 hours of thinking about it or sitting around doing it. But I mean, like, literally intense focus kind of 10,000 hours. I think it'd probably be more around there. And again, that's just like a rough estimate, but it adds up. I mean, that's a good bulk of time. You know, if you're looking at a 9-to-5 job every week, 52 weeks in a year, you got 5 days. That's what, 260 days at like 8 hours. So what? You got a lot of years of work to put in before you even get there. Hold on one second. I'm going to just doing a quick thing that would be 3.4 years of working every day for 8 hours of really focused, intense study and everything. And that's still, I don't think anyone's going to do every single day for 8 hours for 100% focus. So it's probably more like 5 to 10 years for most people of intense working at your craft. And so I think that practice, and just because it's that you hit that 10,000 hour mark doesn't mean that you're going to get rusty some days and need to put in more stuff. It's just to get to kind of where you'd be at. But I think the practice and keeping your mind open and thinking are all just great things to incorporate and keep in mind in your work day to day. So let's go ahead and get into some animation, because I feel like I'm getting rambly. I even got a calculator out. What am I doing? This is the Lina rig. It's a free rig from the Dota 2 collection of rigs over at the Steam community. I'll throw a link in the description below. And if you're not familiar with what we'll be doing for the rest of the video, I go off and I find a rig that I've never used before. It's a free resource for you guys to play around with as well. I always throw a link to it if you guys want to check them out. And we give ourselves usually around 48 frames or so. Kind of come up with some crazy idea and see how it goes from there. Just a little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, talk through the process. The main goal of doing these videos each and every day is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create your own amazing, wonderfully unique, creative content each and every day. Take another step in your journey, put in those practice, work towards those 10,000 hours, work towards that mastery of whatever it is you're passionate about. So let's go ahead and get into some animating. So I was thinking for this one, do something a little bit different. Let's do a kind of idle hover animation. I thought that would be kind of fun to do. So let's come up with a more interesting pose here. I think I'm going to push that up, give it a little bit of kind of like the Superman-ish kind of pose. And we'll push this one up a little bit more, drag that one down a little bit more. There we go. Rotate it inward a little bit, and same with that one. And what should we do with the hands? Maybe we'll would definitely be one of those times where FK would come in handier than IK, but I think we'll make it work no matter what. And take the head, and we'll rotate it a little bit more so it's more forward here. We'll drop the shoulders a little bit. And drop the hands a little bit more. Let's add a little bit of rotate Z to the hips. And offset it in the chest here. Too much rotate Z. Let's scale it back a little bit. And scale it back here. And maybe give a little bit of rotate wide to favor that front. And get a little twist in there. Look at our graph editor here real quick. I think I'm gonna just want this to be a little bit less. That's too much. Arms feel like they're a little too pushed back, so let's push them forward a little bit more. Okay, let's get some more interesting hand poses here. Put that forward. Bring this one out a little bit more. Let the thumb open a little bit more here. And this one, go a little bit tighter here, a little more open there, and same there. It'd be a little bit cooler if we could do each and every finger. We could get a little more unique or intriguing hand posing, but we'll get something still workable here. Try to get some more variety in between these hand poses a little bit more too. And maybe a little more openness in the thumb on this side too. It seems like those tips don't really work, so it'd be just more the mids here. Alright, so should we start somewhere there? And bring this knee in a little bit more here too. It's a little more of a dynamic pose you had to start with. And I think I'll tweak this as a little more pulled upward here. Just so we get a little bit of asymmetry between the two sides there. And let's go and turn everything off except for our nerve curves, our nerve surfaces, and our polygons. Let's go ahead and save our file here. And let's go ahead and get started. And we are using Autodesk Maya for today's video. 2014 version. For more information on that and all the stuff we've talked about so far, check out all the links in the description below. And I'll go ahead and save our file one more time. And we're just doing kind of an idle cycle. Will that go back to 64? Sorry. Yeah. We'll go back here. But we want to push this, so it would start there, and we'd have another one in here. And let's cut it about in half for the amount of movement that we have. So let's see. Let's have it go up first, and then go down. Yeah, let's see that now. Probably even go slower. Maybe we'll go 10 frames. 10. This would be 20 frames there. 20 frames there. 20 frames there. And then 10 frames. I don't know what that is, so I'll just delete that key. Okay, and let's see. Let's cut the movement, especially the down, scale it back a little bit more. And should we maybe even slow it down a little more? Go 12 frames per. And then we have 24, and then we'd have 36, 48, and 60. 96, right? Just want to get a good timing and make it nice and slow so it feels floaty. And then let's tone it down a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, I think that'll work. Go ahead and save our file again, and let's look at the feet here. And we're going to go up here, and then go down there, and what do you have after that? 72, go up, and then back. Alright, so I don't want them down so low. I think I'm going to take these ones and lift them up a little bit higher. And not go up nearly as high either. Let's see. And we'll cut that back even more. And let's see. Still feel like they go up a little too high. Scale back there. And there. Add a little more variety here. And let's see. This one I feel like it goes down still a little too low. 6, go down. Just so there's a little bit of different timing here. 80. Go down or go up again. And go back to where we were. Actually, maybe we'll move that here. Let's see. Maybe I'll move to 10. And we could make it less movement. And less movement up. Still feel like the ups are too high. So let's take those. And let's see. I think we need to do a little more movement on the feet. They feel still. I think we toned them down too much. Like I said, this is more of like a big moving hold, but a little bit of change of pace from kind of stuff we usually do here. And let's look at the shoulders. I'll have those drag down there. We'll go up here and down there, up here and back. Let's see. Alright, it's way too much movement, but I think that timing works okay. It will delay it 2 frames or so. Let's see. It feels a little too low. Flatten out the movement a little more. Okay, and let's look at the feet. So let's add a little bit of rotate down there, up here, down there, up here, back, so we get a little bit of. And we'll minimize that a little bit more. And let's look at the other foot, and we'll do a little bit of that too here. Go down there, up here, down there, up here, and back, and let's see. Okay, and I'll minimize that movement a little bit more here too. Let's see. Maybe we'll do just a little bit of in and out, back. It's way too much. Scale back a bit more. But that way we get a little bit of that circular movement here. Bring it back. Let's see. let's look here. Do a little bit in there, out here, in there, out there, back. Again, we'll scale that back. Yeah, let's see how it feels. And scale back a little bit. And then let's take this one and we'll push everything forward a frame. This one we'll push everything back a frame. Let's see that. Okay, let's save our file here, and let's look at this thing. I want to get it, it's intersecting through the plane of the dress or so. So let's try and see if we can bring it out a little bit more. Guess we'll kind of have to let it go through here a little bit. So we just put it off to the side. Fortunately, maybe I'll move this one over to the side too. Just have it match a little bit better. So they're both intersecting, it kind of works, but if we have one working and one not, unfortunately we don't have anything for, we could do this foot might need to go a little forward here. So let's do that. Great. Yeah, let's look at the hip here again. And we'll go. There's some transit line here. Okay. Rotate it forward a little bit there. Back a little bit here. Forward a little bit there. Back a little bit here. No, I think it should start this way. End there. Okay. So we just want to hit every other one, right? Is that what I'm thinking here? I think so. Okay. Just leave a little bit of circular movement throughout there. So let's start off there. And go back. Move forward here. And back a little. Alright, and let's look at the chest. We'll do a similar thing there. Puff it out there. Go a little bit inward here. And back. Yeah, it's way too much movement forward, so I'll minimize that a little bit more. And see. And let's clean that up a bit better. more circular movement throughout that wrist. And let's go to the other side here. And I'll go in a little bit there, out a little bit, in a little bit, and back. And let's balance that out a bit better. Translate Y on this side. Let's see. Okay. And let's look here. Do we have a translate? We do. We do a little bit of this. Goes a little bit down there, a little bit up, a little bit down, and back. And it's probably way too much. So we'll scale it back, though we can get a little bit in the middle section as well. So a little more squash and stretch in there. It's probably too over the top, so I'll scale it back. And let's balance that out a little bit better and still scale it. And let's see. Just pull it back a little bit more. Let's look at the head. Do a little bit, or maybe we could do it in the neck. Go a little bit down, just to add a little more drag. And it's probably too much at this point, but a little bit might help. And let's see. We probably want to go with 24 instead. Go back. And tone it down even more. Let's see how that feels. And still scale it back even more. But that way we get a little more of that up and down in the neck here as well. Okay, and let's look at the little bit of rotate in the head here. So we go down a little bit there, up a little bit here, down a little bit there, up a little bit here, and back. And let's see. Okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and save that. And now let's look at the hair here. And so we go down again, up again, and back. Let's see. The first one's probably too exaggerated, so let's scale it back. And let's see how we're doing. I could exaggerate that, I think, a little bit more. But again, we're going to do the rest of the pieces of hair too. And then back again. Okay, and let's push those first poses a little bit more, and go back just a little bit. And then we'll look at the sides here. We'll go down there, up here, and we'll delay these a couple of frames too so we get a little more varied movement. And back again, let's see. And I'll do a little bit of rotate. Z. Let's see. Let's see. Back. And I'll take this one. And I want to go the other way with that, but I'll vary it a little bit more. Let's see. And we can probably amp this side up a little bit more and tone this side down a little bit more. And then we'll look at this one. Start off with it at its lowest point there. And it'll reach its highest, its lowest, highest, and then go back to where we were, right? And then here we'd be dragging downward, up, downward, up, back. Okay. And let's look at these two pieces of hair. And we'll kind of treat them similar to the rest. But then we'll switch our timing up with them a little bit more. Up, and then back again. exaggerate the rotation on this one a little bit more, just so we get some more variety. And we'll take the translation and tweak it a little bit more on this side, so we get some more variety there too. Let's see. Okay, and let's go back and look at the hands. We'll do a little bit of rotation there too. Where's the translate wise? So I think I want to go here. Do some. Individual, and then here go up a little bit, over. This one we can drag it a little bit. It's not perfect yet, but let's see. Let's key that. Here. This one back there. Rotate wise there. See if that feels a little better. Keep that. And just kind of minimize the movement a little bit more. Feels a little too loose. And let's keep that. Don't have such an extreme towards the end. So extreme here. And usually like to use just one attribute so I can really get in there and not use all three of them mixed, but we'll make do. Okay, so we'll do a little bit up here, a little bit of drag back there, a little bit up there, a little bit back there. Let's see it now. I should have done it at the right frame. That would have been helpful. Let's see now. I'll need to cut those a couple of frames as well, just so they're not as extreme moves on the wrist. Scale it back a little more. And let's see now. Okay, it's starting to work. And let's look at the fingers. Grab everything, even though I'm pretty sure it's just the base and the mid that work here. And I'll grab both sides, just for laying the foundation on this stuff. Actually, I won't. I'll just grab one hand at a time. And we'll curl it in a little bit here. We'll go out a little bit there. In a little bit. Out a little bit. And back. Let's see. Need to overshoot that last one a little bit more. And probably scale everything back about 20% on there. Okay, and then we'll take the mids and the tips here, and we'll delay those a frame. And we'll take everything on this first finger, or index, group, or whatever, push it forward a frame, and delay this one so it follows along. Let's see how that feels. Okay, that'll work. And we'll go ahead and save our file. Let's look at the other side. Grab all of these here. If you notice, I'm doing the timing a little bit different from what the wrists are too, just so that we wouldn't be looking at the same exact stuff here. Can't really do too tight of timing when we want to have it feel like it's on air, or a little bit like it's floating on air. You want to be a little bit slower with your timing and have the spacing between your keys a little bit longer, so it feels like there's more air and less gravity pulling it down and giving it that weight. Let's see. I think we could exaggerate that a little bit more. Feels like it's a little underplayed. Let's see that now. And find somewhere in between there. It feels like this one is a little over exaggerated compared to the other one, so let's scale that one back a little bit more and amp this one up a little bit. And I think it's more just because of the way the posing is set up. Let's see. And probably take both of them and scale them back just a little bit more. Let's see that. And then let's take all of the mids and tips and we'll delay them a frame. And we'll take our pinky group and delay that a frame as well. And take our index group and push that forward a frame. And let's see how that feels. Okay, it's coming together. And let's look at these thumbs now. So thumb, let's do it starting at 0, and then we'll go to 24. This way. 8 that way. Actually, I think it should be an X. And go back just a little bit of movement there. And is there, let's see if there's still a mid here. We'll do this one at 12 and then 36 out. And punch in another key there and loop back. Let's see how that feels. Alright, and let's look at this thumb. Out a little bit there, in a little bit. Out a little bit, and back. Yeah, let's look at the middle part there. We'll go in a little bit, out, in, out, and back. And scale it back. It's a little over the top. Okay, and let's look at the cloak end at the bottom of the skirt or whatever it is. And let's go here. Do a little bit inward here. A little bit outward there. A little bit in, a little bit out, and back to where we were. And a little bit in, and out there, and back. Let's see. And let's delay this by about 2 frames. Go up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, and back. And this one we'll push it forward a frame. Okay, let's go and see our file. let's grab all of these middle sections. Let's save our file again one more time. And rotate them out there, in here, and in there, out there. I might need to invert this, but I think this is the right way we should go about doing it. And let's see. And we'll scale the total movement down a bit more. Let's see. And this will be where it translates down more, lifts up more, down more, lifts up more, and goes back. Let's see. Okay, it's starting to come together. Still needs some tweaking and everything, but we'll get it. And then let's look at the bottom portions of this fabric here. And we'll go back to there where it would rotate in here, and out there, in here, out there, and back. Now these two especially, they really don't need to move this way. They need to move more outward rather than front and back, but we'll get there. I'll still add a little bit of that in there. So we'll go out here, in there, out, in, and back again. And maybe we should tone that down. It feels like it's not quite too much movement. Or maybe we should universally just push it so it's this way more. Sure, it's furthest down here. I think that's the problem. Right. And then maybe we should bring it like this. Okay, and let's look at the other side. So we'd want it to go inward here, out there, inward here, out there, and back. And scale it back. And let's look at the translate wise. Drag it there, lift it here, go down there, go back. I think these ones need to be starting out in more of a downward position. I think these highs could go a little bit higher. So This might go this way, so they're kind of leading or following. Maybe following, so maybe it would be this way instead. Let's see if we like that better. No, I like it the other way around. Just probably doesn't need to go down as low there. Let's see it now. Yeah, let's just cut that movement quite a bit more. Let's see. Okay, let's do less up and down on these ones, and more rotate Z. And add a little more variety there too. let's take everything on the ends and we'll just delay it in one frame here. Everything on the tops. And push it forward one frame just so we get a little more variety. Translate Y's on here and cut those to about in half. And probably same with the rotate Z's. Just cut them a little bit more. It's just those sides are a little too busy. So let's see. Feels a little better. Let's take everything here and just tone these down a little bit more. It's just still too much, too busy, especially with the hair moving and everything. We'll keep these a little more subtle. Let's see. Maybe instead of having them so much downward, we'll start them out a little more in the middle. Since we scaled it back a little bit, let's do something like that. And let's take everything we have on these ones and delay it like 2 frames. Or maybe 1 frame, just so that the hair and the fabric don't feel so like they're on the same movement plane here. We'll take everything on the hair and push it forward a frame. If it'll let me grab it, that'd be nice. Just so we get a little more variety there. So we got a 2 frame variation there. Yeah, let's look at the translate Y's on the top here. Scale those back a little bit more. And same with the rotate X's. Just scale it back because it still feels a little too busy there. So let's see. Let's turn our curves off and let's look at everything. It's okay, but I think we're getting a little too much in the back portion here. So let's scale that stuff back a little bit more. And let's see now. Nice, or they just feel a little too similar, I feel. let's keep it like that. I'm probably going a little long anyways, but I think that feels a little better. So let's take a look back at where we started. We were looking at the beautiful work of Florian Satzinger. He said, keep your eyes open, think before you draw, and practice, practice, practice. 3 great tips, great takeaways for today. Keep your eyes open, look for anything that can inspire you or cause you to work. Think about the stuff that you're going to do before you do it. Try and get a good mental picture or a good little thumbnail out before, or a good idea in your head before you sit down, and then do it. Go out there, create, make whatever it is that you're passionate about. Use your imagination, use your creativity. I love you guys lots. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I think that'll wrap it up for today. So we will see you for some more animation tomorrow.